Okay, I'm gonna keep quiet. I'm gonna try and keep as quiet as I can because it's late. Well, no, it's not that late. It's only like, what, 9? But the pipes seem to be cleaning themselves. And it's not even just since the plumber got here that they started doing that. I realized that they were basically always doing that. Because of what was blocking the pipes were correcting themselves. They were cleaning themselves out so that whatever debris was blocking them would come back up. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I've been able to clean out the shower, thank God. I don't think I'll ever use it again. But I was able to clean out the shower. I was able to get everything out of there. The smell is a bit awkward, but you know, it could be, it doesn't smell good, but it could be worse, right? It could be a lot worse, especially considering that I kept cleaning the fucking toilet. And I keep thinking to myself, if I hadn't have kept cleaning the toilet, how much worse would it have been? So now I think I can identify the source of the blockage in my bathroom. I think I can identify it. And once again, this is one of those occasions where if I was to explain to people what I was doing, people would agree there was a lot of common sense behind it. It's just that the way it turned out was just, do you know what I mean? But with, I can only really partially blame myself. The plumber was right, because he tried to explain to me that I can't blame myself entirely for this. And in some ways he's right. I was very, very hard on myself earlier. And the reason I was very hard on myself is that, even though there are certain things that I shouldn't have done technically, I only did them because I was protecting myself against gang stalking. I will just say that. That's the only reason I did it. The first thing is that I was protecting myself, or at least I thought I was protecting myself. The second thing is that, well, honestly, I knew I was protecting myself. I knew I was. It wasn't even a thought. I knew I was protecting myself. It's just I did it in the wrong way. And I did it because I wasn't brave enough to try another route. But I was protecting myself against gang stalking, long story short of that situation, which is why everything is happening right now. Once again, I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to keep that to myself. But what I will say is that I had the right idea, but the wrong approach. And, that's something that has to be rectified. And that's something that could have affected a lot of businesses and a lot of livelihoods if they haven't already. So I acknowledge that. I acknowledge my part in it. I cannot stress that enough. My part in it was big. So I'm not going to fucking sit here and make excuses for myself. At the same time, there are certain things that even with a well-designed plumbing network, there are certain things you should be able to do. You should be able to take a shower without causing a leak beneath you. You should be able to do that. You should be able to go to the toilet without the water coming back up in the shower. You should be able to do that. Even if you put certain things down the sink and that are not plastic, and technically you shouldn't do that. But even if you do something like that, it shouldn't result in, something coming back up through the shower. There are certain things that should not happen, even if somebody is, I don't know, even somebody has the wrong idea about how to solve a problem. It shouldn't result in, somebody being unable to go to the toilet or somebody, it shouldn't result in that. So the plumber was partially right on that front. And plus, I also have to acknowledge that, perps have been in here. They said it was one time. They've been in here and they've blocked up the toilet as well. So that's another thing that has to be considered. And just because they only did it once, it doesn't mean they're not going to do it again. So it's, you know, because the thing is that I know the perps. I know how they work. They don't stop at one. They've always got to do something else. They've always got to do the same thing over again. It's a pattern of behavior that I've learned to recognize. So there are all these factors coming into play at the same time. As much as all these factors are coming into play, I still take responsibility for my part in it, because it's important to do so. Do you understand what I mean? And my part in it, it wasn't the entire picture. I understand that. But my part in it could have disrupted people's livelihoods. For all I know, that smell from this flat, even though it's not so much terrible as awkward, the smell from my bathroom, it could travel down past the void into certain people's businesses, and I don't want that for them. I don't want to affect somebody's money just because I handled something in the wrong fashion, or because, you know, no, I just don't want to cause that. I don't want to cause that for other people. It's really as simple as that. But I'm glad that the problem is solving itself out. Not out of the woods yet. I'm not taking any chances. Okay, luckily, there have been people in this community willing to help me. I'm not going to say who they are, but they've been willing to help me out in this particular situation when it comes to my hygiene. They've been willing to help me. So, like, I'm glad for that. But no, no, on my part, I'm trying to protect myself against gang stalkers, against the community of gang stalkers. I'm trying to protect myself. But the majority of the people within my community are not gang stalkers. And what I'm not about to do is I'm not about to play a part potentially in fucking up their businesses and ruining it for people who are not gang stalkers. I'm not prepared to do that. So it's just a matter of just being more careful, finding solutions that don't involve me staying indoors and guarding everything. It's just a matter of trying to find solutions that don't involve trying to spend a whole bunch of money getting a CCTV system, or fucking like just staying indoors all the time. There have to be solutions to the problems of gang stalking that don't result in me or businesses around this area suffering for it. There has to be like a proper solution to every problem, and I'm gonna fix that now. I'm gonna pray over it. I'm gonna make sure that I can make sense of what's going on here, make sense of how to proceed forward, how to protect myself against gang stalking in ways that don't disrupt everyone else's business potentially. So that's my objective moving forward. I take responsibility for my part in it. I have no problem admitting that. I have no problem standing 10 toes down and saying, you know what, I partially caused a problem. But I think earlier I was quite hard on myself. Got to work on that, honestly. Got to work on that. Anyway, I love you, my fellow TIs. Peace and blessings. If you made it this far, let me know how you are. And I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night. The pipe will probably clear itself again. If it does, I'll be ready in the morning, ready to clean up whatever needs to be cleaned up. Okay? Take care. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye, my darlings.